NBA Now is presented by Magic Spoon. I love the peanut butter cereal flavor that they have. Hey, this is childlike cereal for grown-ups. Why? 0 grams of sugar, 13 grams of protein, and it's absolutely delicious. If you're trying to lose weight like me, go to Magic Spoon, magicspoon.com/chat. Get $5 off. Delicious cereal, and it's actually very, very healthy. Go ahead and go to Magic Spoon right now. Let's talk some NBA trade rumors on today's show. Report has come out from The Athletic. Dame's camp has a, quote, sense of urgency to win and to win right now. The Damian Lillard trade rumors are not going to go away anytime soon. And hey, I understand the urgency to win because he is in his prime, but how long will that last? Damian Lillard quietly, guys, he turns 31 in July. Doesn't seem like he's been around that long, but remember, 4-year college player, so he wasn't 19 when he came out. He was 22. So clock's ticking on trying to win a title if you're Damian Lillard. Can't be messing around. Will the all-star point guard demand a trade? That is the question we all want to know. Jason Quick of The Athletic had this note. There is a palpable sense of urgency coming from Lillard's camp. Lillard wants to win big, and he wants to do it now, close quote. So Damian Lillard is a guy who's been loyal, he's been patient, but maybe that patience is running out because he wants to win a ring. There's no doubt about that. Damian Lillard wants to win a championship. I think if it were up to him, he would bring a ring to Portland. But maybe he's starting to think and starting to wonder if Portland is the place that he can do that. It may not be. He may have to go to another city, to another franchise, to another team to win an NBA championship. So it'll be very fascinating to see if he does indeed demand a trade. So predict it for us. Will Damian Lillard get traded this offseason? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get your votes in on this one. Will Dame Dollar get traded? I'd like to see him go to a bigger market personally. I would also love to see him win a title in Portland, so I'm conflicted. Y for yes, N for no. Let us know if you think he'll get traded. Obviously, if he does, you're getting one of the best scorers in basketball. Top 5 in the NBA, 29 points a game, 45% from the field. We know he can light people up from 3 as soon as he crosses half court. And he's really gotten better throughout his career at being a distributor as well. 7.5 assists. I think he can still continue to grow in that area. Obviously, he's never going to be a lockdown defender, but with what he brings you emotionally and as an offensive player and just his leadership and clutch ability, Damian Lillard brings a lot to the table. So if a team's going to trade for him, it's going to cost a ton. We'll see what happens. We'll certainly monitor this story here on Chat Sports for the next several months. How about another Blazers guard getting traded? CJ McCollum, another report coming out of The Athletic. The Blazers may trade CJ this offseason, and many believe, including myself, yours truly, that it could be time to split the backcourt of CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard. Why? Because they're both 6'3" and under, and they're not good defenders. Hard to win in today's NBA, despite how good of scorers they are. Now with McCollum, 3 years, $100 million left on his deal. That's quite a bit, but he is an elite scorer, so someone will trade for him. I think they should deal CJ. If I'm Portland, I'm doing everything I can to keep Lillard. I'm flipping CJ for maybe more of a defensive type of wing to pair with Damian Lillard, and I'm going to go play some hoops. Like that's what I'm doing if I'm the Portland Trailblazers. Now, obviously, they got to figure out their coaching situation. Dame wanted Jason Kidd. He's off to Dallas, so that's not going to happen. They got to move forward with other candidates here, but I would deal CJ. I would trade him to another team. And it's not because I don't think CJ McCollum is a really good basketball player. I do. He's very good. He's a top 15 scorer in this league. The problem is that's really all he does. He's improved some as a distributor, 4.7 assists per game. Obviously, like I said, we know he can score 46%, 40% from 3 as well. The question is, can he be a number 2 on a championship contender? I think he's more of a number 3. I think that's the problem, and he's been asked to be the number 2 for the Portland Trailblazers for quite a long time. And if he's going to be the number 2, your number 1 has to be a bigger, more physical defender type, and that's just not Damian Lillard. He's a small guard who can light people up. So CJ McCollum possibly getting traded as well. Tons of stuff circulating around the Blazers. They still got to figure out who their coach is, and they got to figure out if they're going to trade one of these two guys. Who should the Blazers trade? Type DL for Damian Lillard. Type CJ for CJ McCollum. Get your votes in on this one and let us know which Portland Trailblazers guard should get traded. So, again, Damian Lillard is obviously a better player, so if you're Portland, I would keep him. You're also going to get more in return for Dame, so factor that in. For CJ McCollum, he's their number 2, not a great defender, did not play that well in the playoffs this year, so you're not going to get as much for him, but this is still a premier scorer in the NBA. If you're running the Portland Trailblazers, which of these two guys are you trading if you're Portland? Now, today's show is sponsored by Magic Spoon, and guys, some of the benefits of this cereal is fantastic. It's low carb, it's high protein, 0 grams of sugar, and guys, it's delicious. Tons of different flavors available at magicspoon.com/chat, which that link also gives you $5 off. Just scrolling through a few flavors here. You got blueberry, you got the cinnamon as well. I'm a big fan of the cocoa. I've tried all of these flavors, and they're all fantastic. Go to magicspoon.com/chat. Get $5 off. The peanut butter flavor is awesome as well. I had a bowl of that this morning. magicspoon.com/chat. Good benefits. You don't have to kick cereal if you're going on a diet because this stuff is actually really, really good for you. That's why one of their taglines is childlike cereal for grown-ups because it's delicious, it's tasty, and it's very healthy as well. That link, we'll have a link for you guys in the comments and in the description. You can also go to magicspoon.com/chat for $5 off. Let's keep the trade rumors rolling here. Collin Sexton for the Cleveland Cavaliers. There's been a lot of talk, really for the past year, and honestly, since they drafted Darius Garland the year after Sexton. Can this duo coexist long term? Well, there's a report out there that the Cavaliers have explored trading Collin Sexton this offseason. Now, a couple reasons why. 1, you have Darius Garland. 2, he's eligible for a contract extension this summer, and the chatter is he wants a max extension. I like Collin Sexton. Has he shown us enough that you should shelve out $100 million for him? That's a different type of question. Now, he's an excellent young player. I like his game a lot. I liked him a ton coming out of Alabama. I know the Cavs stunk this year, but 24.5 points, 4.4 assists. He shot efficiently at 47.5% from the field, 37% from three-point range, and that's playing with not a ton of talent in Cleveland. I would keep Collin Sexton if I were the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I would just figure out I'd give it another year with him and Garland and see if this, backcourt can coexist. It's actually very similar to the Portland situation where they're kind of, it's an undersized duo that doesn't defend that well. So it's like, okay, can this work long term? That's why when they drafted Garland, I was like, I get it. That's probably a best player available situation, but you drafted Sexton last year. Did that make a lot of sense? I'm not so sure. Obviously, I think they're second-guessing that a little bit, which is why they are shopping Collin Sexton at least a little bit. I'm a big fan of his. Guy can get buckets. He's improved as a distributor as well. I would keep him and try to build around him and maybe Garland as your co-star moving forward. Obviously, you got to get stronger on the perimeter, especially defensively if you are Cleveland. Now, get Chat Sports to 250,000 subscribers. I know a lot of you have already subscribed. If you're one of those people, I appreciate it. If not, guys, we're less than, 1,300 subs away from 250,000. Guys, that is an exclusive club on YouTube, and you can be a part of it by hitting that big red button or searching that link, youtube.com/chatsportstv. But hit that red button to subscribe. NBA coverage almost every single day, plus a ton of NFL coverage here on Chat Sports. Can't do an NBA trade rumors video without talking about Ben Simmons. And, hey, there's actually some new information here as Stephen A. Smith on First Take today talked about this quite a bit. He believes that the Golden State Warriors are going to make a big push for Ben Simmons this offseason. Now, I think it's pretty well known that the Sixers are expected to shop him this summer. Doesn't mean they'll trade him, but I do think they're at least going to explore their options. They can back off of, those brutal quotes after Game 7 and be like, no, we're going to work with Ben, improve that jumper, he'll be back next year. They're going to look to trade him. That's just personally what I believe. And honestly, I think Ben Simmons could use a fresh start. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So Stephen A. had this quote on First Take earlier today. Here's the reality. As it was reported, Rich Paul talked to the Sixers, and obviously he's Ben Simmons' agent, so you're going to want some involvement. Didn't ask for a trade, but certainly if Simmons were to be traded, he wants some say in where he goes. That's what the reality is. He continued with, and in the end, Philadelphia is trying to claim that Philly is not interested in moving Ben Simmons. Let me tell y'all something. That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie. It's just that they're not interested in getting trash back for him. You make a solid bona fide offer, the Philadelphia 76ers are going to consider it. I'll just be blunt. The Sixers need to trade Simmons. Like, I get it, he's done some good things. I get it, he still has a lot of potential, but it's been the same story for like 3 years now. In the regular season, he's a fun transition player. He can defend, you can run and gun with him, but at the end of the day, you get into the playoffs against these smart teams just boggle the paint, and Embiid can get double-teamed on every possession because Simmons is not a threat to shoot the basketball, and that's a problem. Like, if you're not going to be a shooter, you have to be, dare I say, legendary in other areas. And he's good in other areas, but he's not, ungodly in other areas. Guys, he took less than 8 shots per game in the playoffs, and you're paying this guy $150 million. Like, that's just not going to cut it, if you ask me. Don't get me started with the 32% from the free throw line, the worst we've ever seen in a postseason. We give Giannis flack for free throws. He's shooting like 60%, almost twice as good as Ben Simmons. So he's been a problem. I think he would benefit from a fresh start. And as far as the Warriors go, which is what Stephen A. believes, a fit in Golden State would be very interesting. I think you would just be getting a younger Draymond Green, which, hey, that could have some value. Now, who is the better player? Like, say, you're running the Warriors. Who would you rather have? Type B for Ben Simmons. Type D for Draymond Green. Let us know down in the comments, who do you guys believe is the better player in the NBA, and who would you rather have out of these two guys?